One of the things that makes the Universal Family special is that our campus houses the Mazza Museum. This museum was created in 1982 and over more than 30 years has grown to its current stature. The Mazza presently houses over 7,700 images from various children's books.
Despite the fact that the Mazza Museum houses such a wide variety of images, this particular one from Midnight in the Cemetery is particularly interesting. This illustration looks almost like a puzzle that a child could pull apart and put back together with their own hands.
This special book is created with 3D effects and a great deal of layering.
A classic image of death and decay, a cemetery is no place for a child.
The ghosts in the children's book Midnight in the Cemetery agreed with that idea. However, the author, Sherry Harness and Robin Brickman, the illustrator, definitely disagreed.
This image makes the argument that life and death are not incomparable opposites, but rather that they flow together on a single continuum. Childhood is the stage in life where the most growth and development occurs. A serious part of that is beginning to understand life and the death that comes with it.
The story starts with a group of children searching for the treasure in the cemetery. Eventually, a bunch of ghosts scare the children away, and then throw a party in celebration. Finally, the book closes with the ghosts discussing how the children will grow older and dare a younger generation to search for the haunted treasure.
Anyone who has ever babysat knows that young children love to ask a seemingly infinite number of questions. Why don't the ghosts want the children in the cemetery? Does it make sense to you to dance in a cemetery? Why would the kids dare others to search for the treasure? What other reasons are there to go to a cemetery? This search for understanding is represented by the treasure, and as adults, it is our responsibility to foster a child's need for knowledge, just as the legend of the treasure was passed down from generation to generation.
The story is not told from the children's point of view, as would be expected. Being narrated by the ghost emphasizes the story's message that the lines between life and death are more blurred than we normally like to recognize. Simplifying life and death into two distinctly different categories make death easier for people to come to terms with. Unfortunately, things are rarely as simple as we want them to be.
The overall unity of the piece is increased by the literal blurred lines between the different colors used. The most prevalent colors used in the picture are shades of greens, blues, and blacks. Green is archetypal of life, blue of birth and continuation, and black of death. Combining the colors plays on our instinctual understanding of chromatic meaning and further enforces the message.
Also, all the figures in the image display a great deal of motion, considering they are what we colloquially term stiffs. All of the dead in the picture appear to be dancing and seem to be celebrating. There is a repeated pattern of the finger pointing up into the air.
This pattern is telling us that our definition of life is limited by what we are capable of understanding. There is more to life than we know, but it lies above our understanding. This book is meant to teach children the alphabet, but its true message is more than we can capture in a mere 26 letters.
Sherry Harness and Robin Brickman used this book to fight common misconceptions and generalizations about life and death. Harness's specialty is writing historical children's books. According to her biography, this love started when she herself was a child and enjoyed reading the Laura Ingalls Wilder books.
Knowing this about her helps us to understand why the idea of a living history is such a prominent theme in Midnight in the Cemetery. Throughout the book, the text changes in specific placement, but is always blocked together in paragraphs. These paragraphs are organized by the letter that is represented in each of the sentences.
The images in the book show no deference to the gutter of the page, but rather flow from one page to the next. Once again, the illustrator is reminding the viewer that boundaries are often defined by those looking at them, as opposed to be definitive themselves.
Robin Brickman actually paints using watercolors onto different pieces of paper and then cuts them out and layers them into a single cohesive image. She also uses pieces of wire and even human hair to create layers in her art. The multidimensional nature of her work represents the multifaceted nature of human existence. Perhaps she is suggesting that there is more than one medium by which humans can exist.